Good morning and welcome to the Monday's edition of this podcast. I remain your host, Ojonimi. It's 5 days into the year already, and I trust the euphoria of the New Year's celebration has started fading away, and you are beginning to prep for real life, as some call it. Well, for me, every day is celebration, but you know what I mean, that real life. Today, I want to encourage you to hit the ground running. Most people will wait for certain things to be released or put in place. I'll give you an example, like returning back to school or work, or returning from your hometown if you traveled over the holidays. Some will even go as far as waiting for the national budget to be signed first before their year begins. But if there's anything I've learned over the years, is starting your year early, hitting the ground running with implementations of actions, decisions, because I'll tell you what, for the first 2-3 months of the year, your adrenaline will still be pumped. Every of the prayers, the prophecies, the resolutions, that's if you have one, and so forth, will be fresh in your memory. So maximize the opportunity to start out early, because a time in the year is coming, and it is not far from now when you would see people around you relapse into old habits and ways of doing things. If care is not taken, you would see yourself battling with the motivation to do the things you had set as goals to accomplish whilst the year began. At this point where your adrenaline rush is no longer there, that's after a few months into the year, it will require discipline to keep your words and your plans that you have set for the year. Breaking the statics or that inertia that comes with having long breaks could be an issue for some. And that's why I have committed some time in my day to see that I help you overcome that through the tips I'll be leaving you in this podcast. So, quickly, without wasting time, I'm just going to give you action steps you should take to hit the ground running. Firstly, review or look through the goals you have set for this week, if you followed my template from the previous maiden edition. 2. Visualize yourself in action on those tasks and think of possible obstacles you might face when you start out on this task. Then also, set a reminder today, being Monday, by 12 noon and another by 6 p.m. Now, this reminder should carry the title of the task you have set out to accomplish. Do this consistently for the rest of the week. So from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can just set that alarm for 12 noon and 6 p.m. What happens is you have started out your day very early. That's if you are up by 4 a.m. when this podcast is being premiered. From 4 to 12, you check how much of my task of the day or my goal have I achieved. So that's more like a check. You're being very intentional about your day. And then by 6 p.m. in the evening, when you're retiring from work, you're also checking, okay, have I completed this task? You want to be that intentional. Okay? Now, also, I would want to say this as a statement of truth. Don't pamper yourself. Time will come for that. Time for vacation. In fact, it's when that time comes, shut down everywhere. Let every day be public holiday. It's cool. But for now, it's time to be uncomfortable a little, to put in the work. As it pops up in your mind, just execute it. And then also, eliminate distractions. Now, this is going to be one of your biggest enemy, trust me, during the year. During the holidays, you were scrolling and watching reels and binging on movies, which was okay. You even made new friends that would want to know you more and keep you on calls and on chats for hours. Now, you would have to come to grips with yourself and say to yourself, if I've had past unfulfilling years, it's not going to be 2025. Like, follow 2025 up like you are going to have, it's going to be, follow it up like it's going to be one of your best years. And I trust that it's going to be. So, we've come to the end of this podcast. Thank you for joining in on today's podcast. I remain your host, Ojonimi. Now, let me just leave this message whilst I round up. If you find any value in what I do and you would want to support in any way, these are the ways to do so. So, if you are streaming this on YouTube or on Spotify, just hit the like button, leave a positive comment or review, share on your social media status. I would really appreciate that. And most importantly of all, if you're on YouTube, click on the support button. Now there's a button there that you can use to make direct donations. Later in the year, I plan to make this a video and audio podcast that's having visuals, but it is going to require setting up a good space. So if you want to be part of those who would make it happen for me, you could make a monthly commitment to the channel, more like a paid subscription to support me. Stay blessed and see you in the next one. Bye for now.